This is my website. As you can see, it's pretty lame and boring. That's okay. I've got one paragraph elements, and I've got a second paragraph elements saying this is my first paragraph, this is my second paragraph. So we know how to stylize these paragraph elements, right? I can identify them by their tag, and I could change the color of them to whatever I wanted. All fine and dandy, nothing new there. Get out of there. What if I wanted them to be different colors? What if I wanted this this paragraph to be a different color than this paragraph? How could I style each of them individually? Because P is just going to stylize every paragraph element. Well, the secret is through the use of IDs. Very simple. In this opening tag of this paragraph, I can give this paragraph element an ID. And I can set this ID to whatever I want it to be. So maybe I'll just type in first. I don't know, my website's pretty boring. There's nothing else to really identify these paragraphs by. And I will give my second element, my paragraph element, a different ID. I'll give it an ID of second. So now I can distinguish and I can identify these two paragraph elements differently because they may be the same element, but now they have different IDs. And once you've done that, instead of stylizing all of your paragraph elements, you can instead stylize by ID. And the only thing you have to remember is you use a hashtag and then whatever ID you're trying to stylize. So if I'm trying to stylize my first paragraph element with the ID of first, I'm going to go hashtag first. That tells your style sheet, hey, we are stylizing any element that has the ID of first. So I could make this first paragraph a color. Oops. Should work. Maybe my server. Okay, there we go. Server's acting funny. So now only the paragraph element with the ID of first is stylized. And I could stylize all of my elements with the second ID. So I could pick a different color for this text. And terrible text color to choose with a white background, but hopefully you can see that now we've got two different elements, two of the same elements, different styled. And we do that through IDs. So we have the same elements here, but we can give them an ID. And instead of stylizing them by element, we can stylize them by ID. My website has changed just a bit. I now have a table, and the table's not filled with anything, but it's stylized so I can actually see it with my properties here. What if I wanted to color the background of this one right here? So this cell I want to color. Well, go row by row. So this is my first row with 1, 2, 3 cells. So that's taken care of here, my first row with 1, 2, 3 cells. But I want this cell in the middle, so I'm going to jump down to my second row, cell 1, cell 2, cell 3. So I'm looking at cell number 2 of my second row. So here is my second row. There's cell 1, there's cell 2. So I found it. So I could give this cell an ID. I don't know. Whatever ID you want to give it. Test. Whatever. And then I could stylize this one particular cell by going hashtag the ID name, which is test. And I could give it a background color. And if I whip out my website, only this cell has a background color. So there's another way you can use IDs to really specify what you're trying to stylize without stylizing all the other stuff that you don't want.